He has treated and helped over 100,000 patients to date and growing very rapidly. But more important than that also, he has reached millions of people through his website, which through the social media and YouTube and all of that, in giving them a lot of ideas, suggestions and tips. Since I've heard him speak before, he's a wonderful inspirational speaker, and also it's a lot of fun. He's somebody who speaks from the heart. So let me bring him up and share some of his thoughts with you. Let's give him a big welcome. Dr. Thakur.
Can I have the mic little more?
Yes, let me get that. Shuru kijiye, I'll just get that.
Thanks a lot, Anilji, for a kind introduction. I am here not to tell you the medical aspects of heart disease. I am here to tell you a story, the story of heart disease. Have you ever heard a story previously? When you were a child, then the Nana, Nani, Dada, Dadi and mother used to, tell you stories. And those stories were so interesting that the child will not sleep. So then they will try, okay, the eyes are closed, let's stop it. And as soon as he stops, the child gets up, fir kya hua? So it should be a story like that, a story of heart disease, how it works and how it gets disease and how we can stop the disease from occurring. A lot of people ask me, doctor, you are a medical doctor, and why it is so that you are going in the opposite direction? You are talking more about lifestyle than you are talking about bypass surgery, angioplasty. Why are you different from the others? And this is what I am going to start with. What made me change my life, my mind? How it became so that I, being a hardcore medical doctor, turned into a lifestyle doctor. What made me change? Let me give you a little background of mine. I have a projector slide. Okay. My organization, the organization which I run with 62 centers presently, is called SAAOL. What does that mean? It's Science and Art of Living, SAAOL. It's a combination of medical science and the art of living. Art of living would mean yoga, meditation, stress management and things like that. And from the science, what I have picked up, the complete knowledge of medical science about cholesterol, about triglycerides, about how the heart disease happens, what is heart attack, what is antioxidants and all stuff. Then we have picked up all the medical management of heart disease. So we are using medicines to reduce your blood pressure, cholesterol and all that. Plus we have also picked up all the medical tests from medical science. What we have not picked up from medical science is cutting the body, disturbing the body, namely angiography, angioplasty and bypass surgery. Why it is so? Because I believe cutting the body would make more harm than benefit. Why not? What is the problem with cutting the body? I believe the machines, body is a machine and we deal with so many machines. We have computer as a machine, we have projector as a machine, we have ACs, fridge and all whatever machines we've got. Now a computer, I can open all the parts one by one and somebody can come back and put them back again, the machine will start similarly. But remember, nature's machines we should not try to disturb. If you disturb it, you may not put it back in the same way again. If I pluck a flower from the tree, can you put it back again? Why? What is the problem? No technology to put it back? Why? Because we don't know the technology. The technology is far more advanced than we can imagine. Nature is far more advanced than what we have today with the medical science growing so fast, doing so many things. But we are very much sort of nature's technology. Think of, let me go a little more, deep. Just see a pomegranate. Have you seen the grains have been packed in such a wonderful way? So many shapes and sides. And all of them packed in such a way, no space is left out. So many kind of packing material has been used. And they are so much of a compact thing. Now if I open all the grains and give you, okay, go to the best technologist in the Silicon Valley and get it packed in the same way God has packed. Can you do that? Why? Nature is much more advanced. And this human body has 10,000 billion cells, each of them joined together to make the body. You want to disturb it, you may not be able to pack it in the same way again. And this is why I differ from most of the colleagues of mine, that it is better to let the body heal itself. And this body has a healing capacity, remember. You scratch on a Mercedes car and you scratch on my hand. After 10 days, this hand scratch is gone. But the Mercedes car will always remain. Why? Because the body heals up. And this is what I want you to do, healing the body. And this is possible. We have to only give the environment. Let the body heal itself. We, when we treat many diseases, we just kill the, germs and the body heals itself. So this is what I want you to do. And remember, the body's technology is far more advanced. Can you just give an example to you? Can you imagine a fridge which is this much? After a year, it becomes like this. After another year, it becomes 200 liters, 500 liters. Is it possible? When it will be possible? After 10 years, 5 years? We don't know. In India, it tells them, there's a nano car, will it become Indica and Indigo after some time? Can you have a technology that the machine will evolve and make a bigger one? Is it possible? How long from now we can make such things possible? But look at nature. A 5-year boy like this, next year he is grown like this, next year he is grown like that. Now, can you imagine such a technology where the machine can be growing on its own? Possible or not? So we are ahead of nature, or we are back of the nature. We are far more less technologically improved than the nature. So we believe that body should be cut at the last resort, and let's try to heal it up. And trust me, heart disease can heal itself, it can reverse itself, and I'm going to tell you the technology about that. Anyway, people ask me, how did you change? Now that I have to give you a small story, and by that time I believe some more people will come, so that I'll go to the real topic after 5 minutes. I belong to Rajasthan, and my forefathers moved to Calcutta. In Rajasthan there were a lot of deserts and all, so people would look for living and they'll go to the big cities. So Calcutta was a place where a lot of Marwadis reached, and one of my forefathers was there. And I grew up in Calcutta. I did my MBBS from Calcutta. And during these MBBS years, 4.5 years, we were taught all the details about the human body. And we did complete practical training. What kind of practical training it is? We will be given a dead body, and we have to dissect out each and every part of the dead body and see what are the things there. And we have to match with a book. So there will be a book which will be lying in front of us. They will instruct you how to cut the body, what all to be seen, what are the things there. I'll give you an example. Suppose we have to cut this part of it's called the dorsal aspect of the palm. So the book will say, okay, take a scalpel or a knife, cut it like this. So we'll cut it like that. Then you peel the skin. So we peel the skin. Then say, what do you find out? So there's a white membrane. Oh, this is called a fascia. So you cut it again. So you open, what all can you find? There are 5 muscles, so they'll write 5 muscle pieces will be there for each of the fingers. Then you remove that muscle, there'll be another fascia that was there. Then there'll be tubes on it. There's a red one, reddish one. What is that? It is artery. There's a bluish one, there's a vein. There's a whitish one, there's a nerve. Each of these items we'll find out from the body, and the books have already written it. That means what? Whatever the books have written, they are all correct. They are all correct. So, seeing is believing. So I started believing that medical science has no faults. Everything is there. Whatever there in the books, they are all there in the body. And then, after we finished the dissection, we were told how the medicines work on the body. Now, for the medicines to see, do you need a dead body or you need a live body? Live body. Where will we get it? So we work on the animals. Oh, I'm so sorry. Ekta, can you? I'm so sorry. Now, where were we? The live body, you need a live body. So we have animals. The frog was the smallest animal. So we'll, stop the brain working. So we'll give medicines to stop the brain working. Now the frog is alive, but there is no sensation. So we put them opposite side and pin them up, and you open the heart, and you can see the heart working like this. Then our trainers will tell, our professors will say, okay, what is this tablet? This beta blocker tablet. So you soak it into water, and then take a drop of water and put it on that heart, and immediately the heart slows down. So we read beta blockers slows down the heart rate, decreases the blood pressure. So this is proven. So, this is the way we learned in the medical college, that beta blockers can slow down the heart rate, and then they will say, okay, you wash this, so the beta blocker is again washed out. So you wash it with water and the heart rate again goes up. Then they will say, okay, put 2 drops. Now 2 drops, the heart rate further goes down. That means increase the doses, the effect will be also double. So all that we learned in the 5 years or so. And then when I became a doctor, I was a very confident doctor that I can do anything. Then we were given patients. There is a 1-year training called internship. So in that time, we were given patients to train them up. And what the patient will have? Some fever. So I have to treat the fever. How to treat the fever? Sir, I have not done this treatment ever. No, you have to learn. So a senior will oversee, you just do the treatment. So how do I proceed? Look at the cause of the disease and remove the cause. How do I reach the cause of the disease? So ask the patient, take a complete history. Okay, tell me, this fever, how long are you having? Sir, 7 days. Now, do you have cough and cold? He says, no cough, no cold. That means what? Respiratory tract infection? Not there. Ruled out. Then ask him, will you have some burning sensation in the urine during the urination? No burning sensation. That means urine infection. Do you have a pain in this region? No pain. That means tonsillitis not there. You keep on asking, then you ask him, do you have chill and rigor? Sir, I feel so cold when the fever comes and goes down. It may be malaria. So we take a drop of blood, put it in the slide, see it in the microscope, and the malaria germs are there full. So the treatment is immediately decided. You have to give anti-malarial tablet. So 3 days of tablet, and after 5 days the patient comes and tells me, sir, the fever is completely over. You are a very good doctor. So now we have become a very confident doctor. So I was like that. I used to believe that medical science, everything is proven, everything is, researched. So there is no doubt that we should have on the medical science. And with that belief, I became a hardcore medical doctor. A doctor who would believe everything other than medical science is all fraud. They have no other research done. Only medical science have researched and proven. So what I am doing is the best. And with that idea, I shifted to Delhi. I thought Delhi is the capital, so let's move to Delhi and start working in a hospital. So I got a job in a place called Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital in New Delhi. It's one of the best hospitals over there. And I was in the department of cardiology doing junior residency. That's what we call it. And there one patient changed my life. That patient came to me with heart problem. He came and met me in the outdoor, OPD. What do you call it over here? Outpatient department. And he told me, sir, I've got a heart problem. I said, look, don't tell me what you have. I will find out what you have. What is your complaint? So the patient says, sir, if I walk fast, I get a chest pain. And if I stop, the pain immediately vanishes. So I asked him, do you get breathlessness along with it? Yes, sir, I get breathlessness. Does the pain go to this arm? Yes, it is there. Then I would ask him, do you get this pain more often after taking food or at empty stomach? Sir, empty stomach I can walk much more, but after taking food I can't walk. So these were all going in favor of a heart disease. So I told him it looks like a heart disease. So I got a couple of tests done, and then I told him, look, you've got a heart problem. Now what is the treatment? Now look at the time. What was the year that time? It was 86. 86 and today it is 18. So 18 and 32 years. That time I was 25 and today it is 57. So anyway, that time the bypass surgery and angioplasty was not so much popular over there, but we used to manage the patient with medicines. So I wrote some medicines for him. There are tablets called nitrates, which make the tube little bigger. And then there's a tablet to thin the blood. There was a beta blocker, so I wrote all those six tablets. And the patient, he asked me, sir, how long should I take this medicine? How long should I say? What do you say? We were taught in the medical college that if you are dealing with malaria, only 3 days. If you are dealing with infection, 7 days. If you are dealing with tuberculosis, then 1 year. And if you are dealing with heart disease, then lifelong. But we were also told, don't tell them lifelong at a time. You first write for a few months and then keep on extending it. So this is what I exactly did. I wrote some tablets. I said, you take it for a month or so and you come back again. So after a month, this gentleman comes back. He says, doctor, you are a wonderful doctor. What is your age? I said, 25. At this age, you become such a wonderful doctor. The first day I took your tablets, my all problems are gone. I'm completely cured and it is because of you. Should I be happy or not? I was happy, but it was not the real one, because I did not know that time that I had not cured the patient. I was just thinking the patient is praising me, that means I am good. But the fact remained that the patient's blockages were all the same. He got all the relief and he was very happy. But I did not do anything. As usual, we were told that if the patient says I am alright, continue the same medicines and send him back. So I wrote the same tablets and said, you come back after again 1 month. So after 1 month he comes back, sir, the pain is coming again. So do I do? So I increased the tablets. And then he was alright for the next 2 months. Again he came back, sir, the pain is coming again. So I increased further. And this way we reached about 15 tablets per day. And then one day that patient got a heart attack and he was admitted in the same hospital in the ICU. I was there and a lot of my colleagues and the seniors were all there. 10 of us, we worked on that patient. So the doctor was, give me this, give me adrenaline, give me this, give me electric shock. And we did everything for the next 3 hours to save that patient, and that patient died. The patient expired. What do we have to do? We just write a death certificate, call the relatives and tell them what? We tried our best and that's it. They say, no, sir, we came to see the treatment. There were 10 doctors running here and there. Everybody was so much, fast, and everybody was trying to save the patient. We saw our eyes and we know you have done your best, so it's our bad luck. They took the dead body, they took the certificate and left. And the file was closed. But that day a new file opened in my mind. Why did the patient die? Previously there, and not that I wrote the death certificate for the first time. Every day I was writing 2-3 death certificate. In the big ICU we used to have every day 10 admissions. 2-3 will definitely die. So every day I was writing death certificate. But that day I started thinking, why did this patient die? Or what was the reason behind it? Because till now, when a heart patient comes from a different doctor, get a heart attack, and we were not able to save him, what will we say? You should have come little early. When you came, that time almost everything was finished. We tried, but we could not do it. Agar aap 10 minutes pehle aa jate, so you never know, we could have saved him. So the patient would blame whom? The patient's relative will blame themselves. Oh, we could have taken a decision 15 minutes early to reach the hospital. We could have saved the. But this patient, can I tell him the same thing? Agar pehle aa jate, to main bacha leta. Arey yaar, 6 months he was with me. And that day I started thinking what went wrong in my treatment. And that day I was very guilty. Guilty because of what? Because I thought I have written wrong medicine for the patient and the patient has died. I still could not believe that the medical science has gone wrong. I was thinking I had gone wrong personally. I did not learn it so well. I must have written wrong medicines or a wrong dose, and that's why the patient died. So I took out all his files and started searching for my mistake, and there was no mistake. I checked all the books, the doses were correct, the sequence was also correct. So it was not my mistake. So whose mistake was that? I started thinking, and suddenly I realized that patient was eating all the wrong food. He was a meat eater, he was smoking, he was overweight, he was not exercising. And all these continued with my treatment. His wrong food continued, his smoking continued, he was not exercising, and I was only stepping up the... And that day suddenly I realized almost all the cardiologists are doing the same thing. They are not telling the patient how to stop the blockage, they are only giving them medicines. And the patients carry on with the medicines and ultimately die of heart attacks. And that day I started questioning the medical science. That day my mind suddenly got something wrong. That the whole medical science, especially the Department of Cardiology, is going in the wrong direction. Now, who do I complain against these doctors? I thought of all the possibilities, Chief Minister and Prime Minister and all that. Then I thought maybe Medical Council of India. But the Chief of the Medical Council was also a cardiologist. Then what do? I was thinking I should take a microphone and go to the streets and start announcing that the cardiologists are going in the... Then what do?
I think it wasn't that the research that the exercise could help.
No, that was all no. We were taught in the medical colleges that these are very important things. But we were never trained that as a doctor you just write the medicines and forget about it. So next day, what I did, after I could not find a solution, I said, okay, let's go to my boss. Let's talk to him. So I told him, sir, I want 15 minutes of your time. He said, Bimal, I have heard there's one patient who expired, and after that, you are very upset. Arey, hota rehta hai aisa. Patient to matte nahi hai. Why are you so worried? I said, sir, but the patient died because we did not give him any information. Arey, Baba, you have written all the medicines, that is correct. You have done your job. Now patient, what he will eat and he will not eat is not your job. Let him decide what he wants to do. I said, sir, he does not know, but we knew. We should have informed. Arey bhai, patient kya khayega? It is his headache. You have done your job. You be happy. Whatever you have done is correct. And do you think all the cardiologists are going in the wrong direction? I said, exactly this is what I am telling you. My boss was not very happy. He said, Bimal, whatever everybody is doing, you should also do that. You cannot change the system. I said, sir, this is a wrong direction. He said, how? I said, if the patient, if I don't treat him, if I only write medicines and he takes all the wrong food, the disease will grow. He'll come back to me with more problems. What do? You increase the tablets. I said, then again he will carry on with the same thing, come back again. You increase the tablet. I said, then one day he will get a heart attack and come to me. What do? You admit him. Then I said, if he dies, then what do? You write the death certificate, government approved. Then what do? That day onwards, my mind changed. And that day onwards, my and medical science started going in the opposite. That day onwards, I started doing one more important thing. Any patient would come with a heart problem. I'll tell him, look, I'm writing these medicines, but remember, they cannot ever cure you. If you really want a treatment, then you start walking, change your diet, do exercises, cut down your stress. And this is how my medical system evolved. And the next 2 years, I did my MD from a place called King George's Medical College, Lucknow. So I shifted to Lucknow. In the next 2 years, I worked with the heart patients and we developed a research project. Everybody during their MD, they have to do a post-graduation, you have to do a research work. So I approached my boss, sir, I will not work on any medicine. Research means what? You give one tablet to 100 people and see what are their effects, what are their side effects, how much blood pressure can be reduced, and you take new drugs. So you have a research study, at the end you collate all the research and put it in the thesis, and the thesis says this medicine has very much good effects and these are the side effects and all that. I told my boss, sir, I want to work on yoga and meditation and lifestyle change. So I will take heart patients, teach them all that, and I will see whether they improve or not. My boss told me, Bimal, you are going in the wrong direction. People are going forward to the high technology area. You are going in the backward direction, yoga, meditation, kya karoge? People will not believe you. They will say you are a dietitian, they will say you are not a physician, you are a yoga therapist. You are a yoga therapist. But anyway, I persisted and I explained to him, ultimately agreed to guide me. So the next 2 years what I did, I took patients from the medical college and went to a yoga center. I said, look, I will bring patients from the yoga center, medical college and treat them over here. He said, sir, ab tak to ulta ho raha tha. The patients from us will go to the medical college. You want to bring those patients from the medical college to the yoga center? I said, yes. So what I did, I approached the patient, look, I am giving you all the medicines, but do you want a process through which your medicines don't grow and they grow down? Sir, yehi to hum chahte hain. I said, okay, then you shift to that research field, and we would recruit those patients. For the next 2 years, I found all my patients were improving, and they will not get a heart attack, and the medicines are also reducing. And that made me, more confident, and I shifted back to Delhi. And this time I started working in a hospital called All India Institute of Medical Sciences. Have you heard of this place? AIIMS, AIMS. And in this hospital I worked for next 6 years. And this is where we developed this program. We started educating heart patients, and during this time what I found, the patients have to be given all the information in very simplified form. The family has to be involved. I remember about, and there were no books. Remember, it's a new field. Every field we have books. So you have to read more and more advanced books, you have to do research studies, you have to study research studies, but in my field there were not lot of things except for a few research studies. There were not lot of books or anything, so we developed our process. And during this time I found so many things. I remember one of the days I was training, in the earlier days I was training heart patients, and I had to go out with my wife somewhere. So I told her, look, 5 o'clock my duty is off, you come to the hospital, otherwise I'll come home and we'll go together. She says, no, I'll come over there, I don't want to waste, I'll have to go for shopping. So she came early. Instead of 5, she came at 4 o'clock. And then she inquired, where is doctor? Dr. Chajar kahan hai? So he is taking lectures for the heart patients. So my wife entered the hall and she sat at the last chair. And she heard me talking for next 1 hour. And after we dispersed, she told me, मैं आपसे डरती नहीं. While use some Hindi words, मैं आपसे डरती नहीं हूँ. मैं बोला यार तो मुझे मालूम है. Problem कहाँ पे है? She says आपका कुछ भी बात समझ नहीं आया. I said यार so many patients heard and they understood. तुमको समझ नहीं आया. बोला उनको भी समझ नहीं आया. I said they would have protested. They could have told me this. नहीं वो आपसे डरते हैं इसलिए बोलते नहीं. मैं डरती नहीं हूँ इसलिए बता देती हूँ. I said, what is wrong? Whatever you are talking is on medical language. You should use the language we use at home. Then only people will understand. Medical knowledge is not there. And that day I started learning that we have to simplify the language. You have to simplify the language, make it so easy that everybody can. I think we'll keep the questions towards the end. So this is how so one clapping for my wife, possible? I learned this from her, and this worked. We started developing the program, and I learned many things. I remember one of the times, I told my patient, don't eat meat, don't eat all that oil, ghee and all that. So he went, and we taught him yoga and all that things. So after a few days he came back, sir, I'm feeling much better, I'm walking every day, I'm doing yoga. I said, are you doing everything? Sir, सब चीज कर रहा हूँ except for the diet. I said, what is wrong with you? Why can't you follow the diet? Sir, my wife says, shut up, जो ही खिलाता हूँ वही खाओ. And don't let the doctor interfere into my home. Let him do whatever he wants in the hospital, but not in my home. And last time we did not feed you properly, so you got a heart attack. This time I will make sure that you don't get a heart attack. We'll give you so much of butter and ghee that your strength of the body will. Now, is there any argument behind it? Against it? The patient says, sir, I can't do anything. I said, ek kaam karo, you bring your wife. I would like to, meet her and explain to her. So he brought the wife. Of course, he was not so educated and all. So she came and, I gave her 1 hour time. Okay, I will spend 1 hour, try to convince her that she has to follow all that. So the wife, first thing she says, Doctor Saab, inko discharge kar do, I will take care. I said, I will definitely discharge, but you have to first understand what is heart disease. So I started explaining what is cholesterol, what is triglyceride, then I showed her the charts, I showed her the pictures of heart disease, how the blockage looks like. And after 1 hour of explanation, she says, मुझे कुछ भी समझ नहीं आया. आप वो बात छोड़ दीजिए, बाकी का मैं संभाल लूँगा. So I got angry and suddenly I told her, you get out and don't come back. I said, आपको कुछ समझ ही नहीं आ रहा है. And then I told his husband, look, your wife is not cooperating, will not be able to treat you, you go for a bypass surgery. Now the lady understood the doctor has become very angry and my husband wants his treatment, I am creating a trouble. But what was the problem with the lady? One was she was not so educated, and second, she had a belief that the doctors tell people not to smoke and they themselves smoke. And she had a belief that ये झूठ झूठ बोलते रहते हैं, ये सब चलता रहता है. So, you know, before leaving, she asked me a simple question. Doctor साहब एक बात पूछूं? I said, yeah, tell me what you want to ask. आप क्या खाते हो? And then I started telling her, look, in the breakfast I take lot of fruits, I take toast, but I don't apply butter and things like that. And then I came to lunch. By that time I saw she was looking like that. She was not listening to me. You know, with the think that whatever he is telling is not truth. So to convince her, what do? I took my tiffin box. I said, this is my tiffin box. There were 3, parts of it. I said, you open and see. Sir, khol ke dekhu. I said, yeah. She opened this and the first one had lot of salads. आप भी घास फूस खाते हो? I said, यार, this is healthy. क्यों आपको हार्ट की बीमारी हो गई क्या? I said, हुआ नहीं है, ना हो उसके लिए तैयारी कर रहा हूँ. So she opened the next one and there was chapati in it and there was no oil or ghee on it. So she opened that and she was looking at it. I said, what happened? ये तो लुक्खा है. I said, मैं यही खाता हूँ. क्यों सरकार आपको हर महीने पेमेंट नहीं देती है? I said, मतलब क्या? नहीं, वो तो गरीब लोग खाते हैं लुक्खा सुखा, हम तो पैसे वाले, हम तो घी और मक्खन. And that day, she left after that. And after a few days, the husband came back. I said, आपको हमने बोला था, you are not fit for our treatment. You go and get your surgery done. No, sir. After meeting you, my wife has changed. I said, she was never to change. How did it say? नहीं सर, आपकी कुछ भी बात समझ नहीं है. एक ही बात समझ आई, आपका खाना. She said, डॉक्टर खुद खाता तो खुद को तो धोखा नहीं देगा, दूसरे को तो दे भी देगा. And that day I realized one very important thing. Without involving the wives, it is very difficult to treat the heart patients. And why wife? I will tell you. Out of every 10 heart patients, 9 are males. It's very uncommon to have the ladies having heart problem. Out of 10, it is 9 males and 1 female. Anyway, with that, then I remember we developed this program. We found it was working very well, but there were a lot of resistance from the medical science doctors. They were telling, no, it does not work, and they'll not send me patients. So we started, ultimately I decided that I must leave it, and if it works so well, we had 300 patients being treated, and we got a very good result. So I resigned from AIMS. In '95, I decided I should go solo, and I resigned from AIMS because we did not want any obstructions. I resigned, we started a clinic, and that was the beginning of SAAOL. '95, I, took up a small clinic in Lajpat Nagar, that's the center of Delhi, and we started a clinic, and then we never looked back. What I did, I advertised in the newspapers, those who do not want a bypass surgery, don't want an angioplasty, you can please contact me, we will have a lifestyle course for the heart patients. And there were 8 of them on the first thing, or 7 of them, and out of them 5 already had a bypass surgery angioplasty done, and they were having re-blockages again. They had nowhere to go. They already have tried medical science and failed. So they came to us and we started treating them. I would take them to a resort outside Delhi. They will stay with me for 3 days. We will train them up. Tell them everything about heart care and all that. And it started working. Then we had more people. And then people started coming from Bombay and other places. So one patient came from Bombay. Sir, why don't you start this in Bombay? I said, if you can arrange, I will come. So we organized everything. I went to Bombay. We started Bombay. Then we started Calcutta, then Madras and Hyderabad and Bangalore. And we started all across. And today we run so many clinics all across India. And it is 23 years. 23 years down the lane, we have now hundreds of centers. This is my head office in Delhi, in Chhatarpur. And now, I think we'll go for some statistics about heart disease. In India and all across the world, heart disease is #1 killer, including United States of India, except for 1 or 2 African countries where AIDS is still higher, having higher incidence of disease. Other than that, heart disease is #1 all across the world. And in India, it is going by leaps and bounds. It is, if you look at the statistics, 2010, these are all Sarkari figures, 2010 to 2015, there was a 30% plus increment in the heart patients numbers. 30% in 5 years. So by 15 years it will be double the numbers. And most important is below 30 years of age. Below 30 years of age, there was a huge increment, 27% increment. The heart disease age was going down. And in fact, in United States also, I was told that and we have statistics to show that the Indian people of Indian origin have the highest number of heart patients. The incidence of heart disease is very high. So this is where it comes into picture. I'm going to discuss all that. But if I just show you a figure, India is number 1 in the whole of the world. Number 2 is Russia, in China. Third is Russia, and 4th is US. This is how the heart disease patients are growing. If you see, this is the yellow line is for India. You can see the speed is so much. This is for China, and this is US. US it is increasing, but it was already higher than India. You can see, it was higher than India. They have been able to contain the increment. The number is still the highest, but they are able to down over here. They took over, India took over USA because of the population maybe, but the number of heart patients in India is now on the top, and China is growing very fast, but the speed is very high in China also because of the lifestyle. This is where our head office is, and if you see all across India we have clinics starting from Guwahati to Mumbai and Ludhiana to Trivandrum.
Yes, sir. Excuse me. The previous slide, is it the number of patients or is it the
No, it is the deaths due to coronary heart disease.
number of deaths? Or
Number of deaths. In millions, deaths in
total population of
millions, deaths in millions. Anyway, this is what I learned from Silicon Valley. I remember I was very contented that I have done so much of spread all across India with 62 centers, and that day, unfortunately or fortunately, I met Anilji. He came from Silicon Valley, and he, after going to my clinic, seeing all my books, ultimately he told me, "Doctor, you have done well, but you have lot of scaling up to be done." And that day, my peace was again broken, because I was told I should open 100 more centers, and then only it will reach the masses. And then I started thinking, and again, I started planning that how to expand this knowledge, not for me only, for the huge number of population which is at risk. This treatment is low cost and it can do wonders. So I started thinking how to scale up the whole process, and now we are in the process of increasing the number of clinics to about 150 or so in the next 2 years. Anyway, this is my background. MBBS from Kolkata, MD from Lucknow, worked at the AIMS for 6 years, and then 95 I resigned. Today we have 62 centers, 1,25,000 successful patients, and there are so many books and so many centers across Delhi. And this is my most famous book called Reversal of Heart Disease in 5 Easy Steps. This was a 400 pages book in English, and this was translated into Hindi, Gujarati, Punjabi, Bengali, Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, Marathi and Malayalam. So many languages, about 10 languages, this book has been translated and available all across my clinics. This is a new thing that has come up for you. There is a new treatment which fall in line with us, and I found without cutting the body we can open hundreds of new tubes in the heart. This is called a treatment called external counterpulsation. Has anybody heard over here about this? Now I'll explain what is this. Suppose the heart tubes are blocked. You remember, we have 2 kidneys. One of them we can donate, means what? God has given one extra. In the heart also there is an extra set of tube that is there. One is working, one is backup. So heart has a backup tube, and these most of us do not know. But these are also called in medical science sportsman's tube. When the sportsman runs every day, he opens all those extra tubes. And this is why the capacity of the sportsman is much more than ours. And all of you can again run and open those tubes again. But for the heart patient, we cannot allow them to run. So what do? We have developed a machine, and this machine was developed after 30 years of research in the United States of America, in many centers, and in China. And this machine was developed. Understand the technology of the machine. This is called ECP. And I call it natural bypass because nature has already created a bypass. One road is blocked, so there is a side road, you can use that and you can avoid the congestion. Now, what is this technology? You have to lie, the patient will lie down on this bed. There are jackets around the leg muscles, around the calf muscles, about thigh muscles and the buttock muscles. And all of them, the jackets will squeeze. What will happen? The blood will rush towards the... So it is simulating exercises. If you just look at this is the machine, so patient has to lie down, the jackets are all there, and there is a computer which will read the ECG, and from the ECG the machine will know when to pump and when to relax. So the jackets will pump and relax, pump and relax, pump and relax. When it pumps, the blood rushes towards the heart, and when it relaxes, the heart will fill it up. You know, heart has two phases, systole and diastole. When the heart is pumping, it will go to the legs. So the patient lies like this, and the ECG is connected to the computer, and the jackets, they will squeeze, the blood will rush towards the heart and open all those, pressurize to open those extra tubes. How many times can it do? Think of it. The heart has to pump 72 times, so the machine has to pump same time, same number of times. So the arrangement is so, the heart pumps, the legs will fill up with blood, and next moment when the heart relaxes, the blood will return back towards the heart. That time the machine will squeeze and send the blood back with a higher force and higher volume. Have you understood the meaning? And how many times? In an hour there will be 4200 times, and if you do it for 35 hours, your heart will have this transformation. From these three tubes, it will become like this. Can you understand the meaning? These are the thousands and thousands of extra tubes that we have, and this is called natural bypass. I found there was no cutting of the body. We are utilizing the resources that are already there in the body. And it is the God-given resource. The God has made it such a wonderful thing that heart has a tube plus one extra backup tube. So why not open them up? And this treatment was approved by the US FDA in 2002. And today, it is a very popular treatment all across India. All my clinics has these machines also. For severe heart patients, we tell them don't even go for bypass surgery. You can still try with this natural bypass and you don't have to cut the body. So this treatment, I wrote a book on this treatment, and this is called A to Z information on ECP. It's called counter pulsation. Heart pumps its pulse. The leg pumps its counter pulse. External counter pulsation or enhanced external counter pulsation, EECP. If you Google these two words, you will find about hundreds of thousands of papers on this therapy. So this treatment also we included, and there's a book on this. Anyway, this is a book called Yoga for Reversal of Heart Disease. This is a series of books called 201 Tips on Diabetes, 201 Tips on Diet for the Heart Patient, 201 Tips for Blood Pressure, for Losing Weight. And all these books were translated into the major Indian language, Hindi. These are my cookbooks, zero oil cookbook. We believe that the oil has to be cut down completely because we are looking for a reversal. Fat, gets deposited, and oil is what? It's a fat, and we are using it every day. Breakfast, lunch and dinner. So I said, okay, let's plan diet without a drop of oil, and we created thousands of recipes without a drop of oil. I'll tell you one secret. You take a spoonful of oil, any of these oils available in your home, and put it in the mouth. What will be the taste? No taste, tasteless. So why do you add up in the food? Why do you add it in the food? Think of it. Why are you adding the tasteless item thinking that will give you taste? It has no taste. Where the taste will come from? Where the taste will come from? From the masalas, from the spices, from the salt, from the red chili powder and all that. So my theory says you add up all the masalas, but don't fry it with oil. You fry it with water. And we developed this kind of frying, and we created 100 types of vegetables without a drop of oil, and the taste would be same. You want oil or you want taste? Yes. If the taste is same, then so we created 1000 recipes. We had initially about 100 types of vegetables and 50 kinds of dals without a drop of oil. And if you don't apply ghee on the chapati and on the rice, then everything is done. So a lot of people say, sir, then lifelong we can follow this diet. I said, that's very good. Then they will come back, sir, what about kachori, pakoda and samosas? So we created baked ones, about 150 snacks without a drop of oil. And then we created sweets, and then South Indian recipes without a drop of oil, and zero oil thali. So we created about 1,000 recipes without a drop of oil. And I must tell you, this cooking process, if you want to learn, go to my YouTube channel, right, Vimal Chajad, you will find it. And the first one is a cooking, the most popular one is a cooking. And this zero oil cooking is now having about 1.2 million views. So anyway, this zero oil cooking was wonderful. We created so many recipes, and it was loved by everybody. And these are all the Hindi version of the same book. And once I decided that every month I must write one book, and I wrote it for about 6 years. And there were so many books coming up on every topic: allergy, anger, diabetes, constipation. You must have seen on display many of these books. And about 36 of such books were published that time. And then more books came up. And these are all the books in Hindi, the same books. And these are my Bengali books, about 25 of them in Bengali. And this is my Gujarati books. There is a publisher called RR Books. They have published all mine. These are Marathi books. These are Tamil. These are Telugu and Kannada. And I recorded lot of lectures in video, and that all are there in the YouTube. There are about 194 videos today's date, I think. And all these videos you can always see without paying anything. This is a series of